A very warm welcome to all our listeners around the world. You're listening to the Tokunbo Fernandez show, the show that promotes the true life stories and the success stories of Africans and Caribbeans around the world. So, if there's a product or initiative you wish to share, feel free to give us a call on 0788 280 9005. That's 0788 280 9005. Take a few seconds to visit our international blog at www.tonyfernandez.co.uk. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video. It's all about promoting the true life stories and the success stories of Africans and Caribbeans living in different regions around the world. And we have so many amazing guests lined up every single week for the rest of the year. It's your community platform promoting initiatives. Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. A few days ago, we had Sheena Hussein as a guest on our show, who is also a poet, published writer, and also an activist. She also spoke about her challenges with cancer, how she overcame them, and also making that light a positive verge in the future. Today, we've got an amazing guest in the studio today. She's doing amazing work in different communities and platforms. She's a business entrepreneur. She also has a passion for community initiatives as well. Her name is Jacqui Defoe, originally from Dominica Republic. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today. How are you today?
I'm very good indeed. And just a little correction, it's actually Dominica, not Dominica Republic. So it's the Caribbean island.
Dominican, okay. I'm sure our listeners around the world are curious to know a bit about yourself, your background, and what you're most passionate about in life.
Well, for me, it started off with my parents who emigrated from Dominica to England. They came with absolutely nothing. They came for a better life, and they just had the one child, which was me. We were quite very poor at the time, but I hadn't realized that we were poor. You just carried on in the normal way of life. And I went to a grammar school. I did very well in school, and I ended up leaving school to be a telephonist.
Wow.
I got my I got my GCEs. It was CSEs afterwards, but GCEs, got very good grades because I went to the grammar school. But then I got a job as a telephonist, as an international telephonist, and I really believed that this was my calling in life. And I was getting £35 a week, which for
Wow.
me it seemed like such a huge amount of money, and I knew that this was the life for me. But I went to visit a friend's dad, and when I told him what I was doing, he told me a blind person could do what I was doing, and he was the catalyst that made me change, and I refocused and ended up working in the bank. I went to Barclays Bank for 10 years. They were moving, and I ended up working for an investment bank, and I worked there for another 10 years. And it was it's just amazing how you move from one place to the other and the different little catalysts that start you off. So I was working in the bank, and I had my children, but I realized that they didn't have my values. And I also compared myself to other people where I wanted to be. I
Yeah.
looked at where I wanted to be and who was successful. And it was people who were married, who formed a good relationship, and they continued and they worked together. So for me, that's what I wanted to do. So I had my two children, but then I realized that they didn't have my values, and I needed to make change in my life, which is, when you're doing so well, you're an investment banker, you're getting good bonuses, you think to yourself, do I really want to do this? It's either your work or your family. And there always comes a point, that was when I was in my 40s, I have to make that decision. And for me, my children were more important than my job. So I
Okay.
left my job and I went into fostering, and I haven't looked back. My children, we've got such a good bond. They are more, along the way that I am their mother. But now at their age now, we're good friends. We're confidants. If they have any problems, they come to me. So we're very, very close, both my son and my daughter.
That's fantastic. Now, what was life like growing up as a child? What challenges did you face? And how did that shape you to become the person you are today?
I believe, well, all along there was a lot of racism. It was in your face as soon as you went to school. I mean, when you're at home, I didn't know that there was racism. I didn't know that there were people lied. I didn't know. I was quite naive. My parents protected me, and I was basically mollycoddled, really, because I didn't know about what was outside. So when I went to work, that's when I realized there was racism, because people would treat me differently, and I couldn't work out why. I thought, what did I do? And then eventually you realize, oh my God, it's because I'm Black. And then you have to be a certain way, and you either go down, or you get the strength and resilience to continue. And that's what I had to do. So no matter what happened, I think because I'm an only child as well, I'm not a follower. I'm more of a leader, and I don't have to follow people. So for me, no matter what happened, I had to continue in everything that's happened in my life. No matter what happens, I have to continue. And when you have children as well, that's the factor that increases my resilience. I must succeed for my children, because who else is there? No one. So
That's
that was it.
beautiful. Like you said, you are a leader. You never saw yourself as a follower. How important do you feel it is today for role models to shape the young ones to believe in themselves, to follow their hearts? Because we have a lot of people today who just follow the crowd, maybe with the temptations of social media and everything. But how important do you think this is?
It's always very important to follow your values, the values that your parents have given you. When you're growing up, your parents will always guide you, and you think, why are they doing this? Only as you get older and you have your own children, you realize. But your parents always guide you the right way, because they have walked your path already. So it's always to do the right thing, not just to follow others, to know what is right and to do the right thing. You don't have to. For me, I I have something within me that tells me this is right or this is wrong. And if it's wrong, I'm not doing it. And it's as simple as that. And I mean, I have foster children at the moment, and I teach them exactly that same thing. One of the young boys, he told me that one of the children wanted to give him a knife, to hold a knife, and he knew it was wrong, so he didn't hold it. Also, when he was walking along, there was a fight. I've always told them, if you see something, walk away from it, don't go towards it. Things like that, and it has to be instilled so that your children have a good foundation. Once you give your children that foundation, you have to trust them that they have the ability to make the right choices. So you have to make the right choices for you. It's not about following other people, and it's not about. I mean, a lot of people are very negative, and if you're surrounded by negativity, that will actually soak into you and bring you down. So sometimes you have to leave the negative area and just go away and get the strength that you need.
Now, today, you're a fantastic business entrepreneur, also involved in community initiatives. When you look back, how and when did that whole journey began?
Um, to tell you the truth, I think it's when I left the bank, when I became a foster carer, because when I was in the bank, life was like a perfect bubble. I was in this little bubble and everything was wonderful. And, you had the lovely car, you had the lovely home, everything was wonderful. But it was just a bubble. And outside, when I went into fostering, I realized what the real world was about. You realize how people struggled. You realize what was outside and how people needed help and how you needed to motivate people to come up, not just to get successful and just leave everybody behind. You have to bring everybody up with you, and you have to plant little seeds. A lot of people, there's so much negativity, they don't see the wood for the trees. So you have to just show them, this is what's here. You can achieve this. I mean, the person who actually motivated me, I didn't know about buying property. I didn't know hardly anything when I was about 19. My parents were in a council place, and I went to a gentleman's house called Lenny Rowe, and I went to his home, and in his living room, it was like a football pitch. And when I sat there, I thought, how do I get here? I'm 19, I have no money. I have, I've got my education, but how do I get to where he is? How do I get this lovely car? How do I get this lovely house? And he explained to me about buying property. And I ended up buying my first property. And I wanted a 3-bedroom house. So I started buying things to put in the 3-bedroom house. But I hadn't realized there's something called manifestation, where if you want something, you believe as if you have it already and you get it. So within about a year, I was offered a 3-bedroom property that had to be refurbished. So all the colors that I wanted were exactly as I had bought. I had the pink bedroom, the brown bedroom, the blue bedroom, all the things I bought fitted into that house. And I had manifested because when I went to Besto Eves, they told me we could only afford a 1-bedroom flat with the salaries, but I ended up with a 3-bedroom house. So it was amazing. So this gentleman who had started me all off, I invited him to the home and he came in and the first thing he said was, "It's cozy. It's cozy." So that's when I had to move. I'd been there a year and a half, and that was at the time of the property boom. So within a year and a half, I moved on to the next property, and he was the catalyst, I would say, to all this.
That's fantastic. And today we hear a lot of people talking about the importance of developing multiple streams and also passive income. How important it is this today in the world we live in today?
I think we have to plan for your future. You have to plan for your retirement, and you always want residual income. Residual income is where you can go somewhere and there's money still coming in your bank account. Very important, because you don't want to keep working until you drop. You want to be able to retire and enjoy your life and do the things you want to do rather than the things you have to do. Some people don't make those plans, and when they get to retirement, they still have to continue working, and there's no change. So you have to have different income streams so that if one comes off, you've got the other one to go back on. And you always have to have a plan A and a plan B. If one thing isn't working, there's another option for you. Always have another option.
That's beautiful. Now, I'm sure our listeners around the world today are dying to know some of the business initiatives you're involved in, as well as some of the community initiatives as well.
The main business that I actually was involved in was basically property buying and rental. So you buy a property, buy to let, you rent it out, and it's paying the mortgage, and then the rental income is paying that. So that gives you, an income, and also that the actual property is appreciating in value. So for me, I didn't want to do too many, so I kept one, and the value went up fourfold. And that was, over a period of time. A lot of people, they just buy lots of different ones, but I didn't want to do too many. I'm quite satisfied with, what I've got. So that's basically what I did. Dealing with the fostering, I'm involved in all different charities, basically helping people, the needy, people who need food. To tell you the truth, I help people directly. If there's people that need help, we can speak, we can discuss, and I help people directly. I take the children to, especially at Christmas times, we go and we feed the homeless. We go to the streets and help them, so that they realize that there's people less fortunate than themselves. So I do all different things, just community work, just helping people.
Yeah, and on a very final note as well, I know you're very passionate as well about having the ability to embrace the day, enjoy every moment, work hard, play hard, and value seconds. So, what message do you have for all our listeners listening around the world today?
Life is, you have to live your life in the present, learn the lessons of the past, live in the present so you can have a better future. But the main thing is you must enjoy your life as you're going along. Don't wait for that rainy day for you to retire and I'll wait till then and enjoy, because you don't know if you'll have good health. You don't know what's around the corner. So every day, make it a special day. Do the things you want to do. Go and have little trips out. Go to the theatre. Go to the cinema. I mean, when COVID came, I was traveling at least twice a year, once a year. I'd made sure I went abroad. So all those trips, I looked, with Facebook, it always tells you a year ago, this is where you were. 2 years ago, there was Bali, there was Indonesia, there's Caribbean islands. I did cruises. I've done so much. So when lockdown came, there was no loss. I've done that already. But if you haven't done that, it's like, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I go abroad? And you should have no regrets. Life is too short. By the time you just blink of an eyelid, and 10 years has gone past. And then you think, oh, where did all that go? Where did that time go? There's no rewind in life. So live your life in the present and enjoy it all.
You've heard it all. Life is short. Embrace the moments. Good things come to those who embrace the moments. Jacqui, it's been such a pleasure having you on today. And I'm sure our listeners around the world feel inspired by your words. Keep up the great work. We're very proud of you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for my interview. And wish everybody a wonderful evening. And thank you again.
You're very welcome.